Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode 151. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, what was a toy you always wanted as a kid, but you never got? You know what, Joseph?
The Technodrome.
The Technodrome.
I got the Turtle Blimp for Christmas one year. Matter of fact,
I never had that one.
It is sitting in the closet. I don't have the actual blimp part, but the where the glider part that they would sit in and everything, it is sitting in the closet that's in this room right now.
Nice.
The blimp, I don't know what happened to, but when I got that, the Technodrome was like up on the list, and I was specifically wanted the one that was big enough that it opened and you could put the turtles inside of it.
Yeah.
But that was way out of any feasible price range for my folks. But that was the one. That was what I wanted when I was a kid.
That's pretty cool.
Ray.
Oh. I wanted her to go first because mine's the same.
We have the
same.
Do we?
Not the not that one. The second one.
Okay, so then we'll say the second one in unison.
Yeah.
Okay, so my
Ballerina
no. My first one is Ballerina Barbie. All I wanted was a Ballerina Barbie. I was like 6 or 7. I can imagine. She looked so cute. I was really into dance back then. She looked so cute with her skirt and her little point shoes and the whole 9 yards. Really flowy blonde hair. That's my son. Oh, hi, Stompy. And I didn't get it, and I was super bummed. But the second one that I always looked at, the Sears catalog with the toy section, when you get the Christmas catalog that was like that thick, flip to the back. Power Wheels!
So
never ever had one. It was always so bummed. But again, like Joseph, way out of my parents' price range. And it was
out of many parents'
yeah, that was like $500. So, but yeah, I was always circle it in the Sears catalog and.
Yeah.
Never get it, but I understand. But yeah, I always wanted a Power Wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted one as well, and I remember seeing them, but I was like
the Barbie Jeep one. That's the one I want.
But when I saw them, I was like, how am I going to fit into it? Like, I was a big kid, so I was like,
and the batteries were not good then. You would have gone like down to the end of the driveway and just been like, well, it's dead.
Yeah.
Well, or if you had to turn around and go back up, like, forget it.
Oh, yeah.
You might get halfway up if you're lucky. Yeah, that was definitely the one that I always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the mods you can do for them now?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes.
Make them gas powered?
No, not even that far. So the ones that my boys had were always secondhand, like I bought them off of like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or whatever. And that's when I found out it's like, oh, well, there's a 6-volt battery in this thing. If you put a 12-volt battery in it. And so there are videos of the boys sitting there and they just, because it's just a Power Wheel. There's no, it's not like you can judge how far. You just hit the gas pedal and the wheels just go and spin. Interesting note, you cannot buy replacement wheels for those things. They do not sell them. So the aftermarket people were like, go to a bike shop and get a used, worn out, broken, whatever bike tire and basically skin the wheel with that because you'll actually get some traction. And I was just like, ooh, that's a good idea. They said, just be careful because if it gets too much traction, it'll pop a wheelie. Like, that's the last thing I need.
It's a bunch of 4-year-olds popping wheelies.
I know, right?
That'd be fun too, though.
Right.
Why is the thing got a wheelie bar? Oh, watch this.
I have to put like a small brick in the front just to keep it from. So, oh dang, now it weighs too much, and I got to get a bigger battery. So, but. Yeah, I looked into some of that stuff. Some of that stuff I was just like, man, you could spend a lot of time, effort, and energy on that. So, honestly, I wanted to say Omega Supreme, but I did eventually get him. But I wanted him for Christmas. Didn't get him for Christmas. Honestly, it was probably like the Millennium Falcon. I remember having TIE Fighters, and I remember having an X-Wing, but I don't think I ever got the Millennium Falcon as a kid. I didn't actually own one until I was like an adult, and was just like, because I've got several ships hanging from my office ceiling, and I was like, well, I have to have a Millennium Falcon. I found one pretty cheap and bought it, and I was like, I never had this as a kid. I just realized this because I was like, this was a cool toy. No wonder I wanted this thing. So
Yeah, one of my cousins gifted us like it's a I don't know 2.5 feet Millennium Falcon, and it lights up and it's got like the shuttle that comes out and everything. Like it's awesome. I was like, yeah, I really wanted one of these when I was a kid. Like,
yeah, no joke.
yeah.
So, well, tonight's topic is so Hasbro has started a while back. They have what's called Haslab, and Mattel, before they gobbled them up, had done kind of some similar things. Well, they've started doing these things, and Haslab will do these crowdsourcing for these more elaborate toys, essentially. One of the first ones they did spectacularly failed, and it was a really in-depth, like really cool Cookie Monster, and it didn't get anywhere near its number. It's kind of a famous fail for them. In fact, they don't even list it on their website anymore. Some of them they have actually been really close and just kind of pushed the stretch goal just a little bit further. One of those, for example, was I want to say it was $400 or $500, but it was like a 2.5 feet, 3 feet tall. No, I'm sorry, it was $600 because it was one of the more expensive ones. It's like a 3 foot tall Unicron, and it takes like 3 hours to transform. But it got funded and they got made. One of the initial ones that was kind of really big was Jabba's barge from Return of the Jedi. So that was one of the first ones that they did. And so when they did that, it's scaled for the characters. So this thing is like huge. It's like 4 feet long. And so they added stretch goals. So if they met a certain level of backers, then it would unlock additional things, and so that you would get like additional characters, or you'd get additional things or whatever. Well, the reason why I bring this up is one of the ones that I've been really interested in just finished funding. Hasbro did, or I should say Haslab just did a Proton Pack. Now, I have the Spengler wand. It's actually kind of up here behind me. They released that like a year and a half ago, and when they released it, they released an adapter on the back so that you could hook it up to like the hose. There was some speculation. They're just like, well, I guess that's so you can mod it into your own pack or something like that. Well, they announced back in I guess it was late October, that they were going to do the full pack. $400. They had to have 7,000 backers to unlock it. Well, it didn't take very long. I think about 10, 11 days in, it got unlocked. And then the first level that came out was, well, we're going to there's going to be a hose that comes with it, and it will have the power source in it to hook into the Spengler wand so that it will power both of them. That was unlocked at 9,000. And then at 11,000, I think it was mini puffs that look like they're burned. Yep. And then like the stuff that you can put on your pack that make it look like it's been, it's got a bunch of marshmallow on it. And then the next level was stickers. And it even went past that level. The final level was a stand that you can actually set it on. So anyway, they were initially asking at $400 a piece, 7,000 backers to get this thing unlocked. It ended up at 21,000 backers.
Wow.
So that definitely tells Hasbro, hey, there's a market for this. Yeah. Oddly enough, they had two other ones going kind of concurrently. One of them was the Sky Striker, which is one of the really fancy jets from G.I. Joe. Supposed to be really awesome. It did get funded, but the Rancor that the Star Wars group put out did not get backed, and it was kind of because a lot of people were complaining that the add-ins just were not worth it. And for the price, it was like, okay, that's kind of expensive, but I mean, it's a Rancor or whatever. And then they saw this Proton Pack that is 1-to-1 size, and they're like, yeah, why would I give y'all $350 for a statue essentially that's about this tall when I can get like a full pack for, yeah. So I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot. Anyway, so tonight's topic with that in mind was I tasked everyone with coming up with, I said 2 or 3, but if you got more, I think I've actually got 4. Ultimate toys that they would like to see, kind of get crowdsourced, in this route. So, because there might have been some confusion with the topic, I'm going to go through my first one real quick. Sure. If y'all don't mind. So the first one that I came up with goes right along with the new Spengler pack. coming from the new movie Afterlife, one of the other big things, there was quite a few kind of big technologies that were coming out with the movie, but one of the big things that had a big spot in the movie was the RTV, the remote trap vehicle. And I would love to see them do a crowdsource for this thing. And so some of the stretch goals that I came up with, it, number one, of course, it would be the remote trap, and it would have a remote, and then you could drive it around and open and close it. One of the stretch goals I thought would be is if it had a smoke kit, so that like as it opens up, it would have the lights and sound, but it would also smoke. I think that would be fantastic. I think if you did, like, if it hits that goal and then maybe hits the next goal, we could have some little mini puffs that maybe their hand specifically will fit and grab onto it and hold onto it. So while it's driving around, it looks like it's got mini puffs on it. I think that would be fantastic. I like I said, this is all just, throwing it out there in my brain. And I was thinking, what if you could get something like a large, like clear plexi that would fold, and you could fold it out, and it would be a prism that you could put on the top of it, so that whenever you open it up and the lights and stuff, it would look kind of like the beams coming out.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think for display stuff, that would be fantastic.
You know what if you did it right, you could actually do like a hologram inside as well, so it looks like a ghost is fighting inside of it.
And see, there are what's funny is the who is it? Playmobil. They released some Ghostbuster toys, and their trap actually did that. There was an app that you could download, and if you take the little trap, there was a prism that you put on it, and when you set it on there, it looked like there was a ghost in the trap. I was like, this is like Playmobil, like really stepped up.
That's awesome.
And then the last thing I had on there was manual and schematics, like having like a detailed manual and have all the schematics and stuff. I think that would be a fantastic stretch goal for that. So, I like your idea of having it where it actually, because I even thought about like even if it wasn't clear, if you made it, kind of, like paper, like some wrapping paper and stuff that's not clear, but it kind of has this like shimmer to it. I thought if it was made out of that, that would look really cool with the lights and smoke and everything. So
cellophane?
Yeah, kind of like cellophane. So, but I thought that would be, dude. If they, I just dropped $400 on this thing. Now, granted, it's also part of my 20-year anniversary gift, so just kind of sucks I'm not getting it until spring of 2023. But it is what it is. But if they seriously, look at the success of the pack and go, all right, well, we're going to do an RTV. I don't see any world where it wouldn't get funded. Like I would be like, nope, done. Absolutely. I'll just sell more stuff. So, because I'm planning on trying to make one anyway, and if I could just buy one, that'd be fantastic. So, would anyone like to go next with an idea that they'd like to, ultimate toy they'd like to see crowdsourced?
I'll go next.
All right, Joseph. What's your first one?
So the first one I came up with is the Sword of Omens.
Yes.
So I thought the initial one would just be the Sword of Omens when it's dagger sized.
Right.
So it's in the you could come in the claw hilt, and so you can put it like in your arm.
Oh, dude,
right
that
here.
would be fantastic.
Then I did understand the assignment.
Okay.
Right? So the next stretch goal would be to make it to where the blade would actually grow, and I personally would say that the growing of the blade wouldn't just be from you swinging it. You would actually have to say, thunder, to get
like it's voice activated.
Yeah, like voice activated one. And the third, the next stretch goal after that would the Eye of Thundara that's in the hilt would be like would actually have LEDs and light up and everything like that. And then the ultimate stretch goal would be you voice activated again, saying Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight, and the hilt would turn up so that you could look through and have the Sword of Omens in front of you.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
What is the Sword of Omens?
It is from the Thundercats TV cartoon.
Oh, see, I don't remember much. We actually have Battle Cat. She lives here with us now.
Yes. Trelawney has turned into be Battle Cat.
Nice. Need to print some armor for her?
Yeah.
She's hilarious. We'll get into that. Pick some pans.
Sorry. Okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yes, that was my first one.
Oh my god, my brain didn't even go to, but that would be fantastic, and that would be right up their alley.
Yeah.
So, any idea? And I didn't ask this, and I didn't even task this. Like, what do you think Like I think $400 for a remote strap would be doable, just because like I've already looked into what it would take to do a remote, trap, and the level of RC car to really make this thing go like I want it to go is easily $150. Just the remote control car. So I'm like, yeah, if it did everything else, I could see maybe $300 and do that. So do you have an idea what you would think price wise?
I thought it would be somewhere $400 to $500, even $600, because I wouldn't want this. I wouldn't want the sword itself to be like those plastic lightsaber toys. I would want it to be more like those Force Effects lightsabers. So you're paying essentially for that, and then for it to be able to like extend without seeing like I don't even know what it's called, but essentially the Russian nesting doll of it, like back into it with that, so that it's a smooth surface. I would assume it cost a lot to design.
Yeah, that would be a pretty penny, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that would, and plus me being me, because I mean I own 2 master swords. Eventually I'm gonna get more. I would want the hilt to be actual metal. Like I wouldn't want it to be plastic or anything like that. With a leather strap and everything.
Yeah.
If the claw was faux fur and had actual claws in it, even better,
Yeah. All right, Ray. What's your first toy?
All right, so my first one is kind of a play set area. It's about the size of like a coffee table. It is Hill Valley. It's the square of Hill Valley, and so you'd get like the DeLorean, you'd get a cop car, you'd get
that'd be awesome.
And they would automatically get like go in like their little circuit of some sort.
Yeah.
And then you get all your figurines. So your first one, you'd get Marty with a skateboard, you'd get Doc Brown, and of course the skateboard would work, right? So you could actually attach Marty to the cop car when he's like ducked down,
right?
And it would like travel him around a little bit. Then you'd also get like Jen Parker, the girlfriend. You get Biff. But I thought the fun thing with Biff and the mom and the dad would be you'd get a young and an old version all in the same one. So the hair would go on one way and they're young, and the hair would go the other way and they're old, right? Like that kind of. You learn from Lego. So it's so at the stretch number 1, which would be 30 miles per hour.
Nicely named.
You get Marty and the hoverboard. And the hoverboard actually is a magnetic one, so you could control it with a magnet underneath so that it looks like he's actually hovering.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Oh, and that was the other thing too, that so the Hill Valley board itself, and then you could, on all the buildings, flipped one way, it's 1985, flipped the other way, it's 1955. So I thought
fantastic.
That'd be kind of cool, right? Where you flip everything over, and only the clock works in the 1955, 1985, because of course. At 60 miles per hour, we get Biff's 1946 Ford Coupe, because you have to.
Yeah.
Right? And then at 88 miles per hour, you get a mall extension, right?
Okay, yeah.
With a VW van.
Nice.
And you can do the chase scene over there. But you also get flaming tracks. So you'd have to do like an ethanol burst just along the area so that you get like...
So many warnings on this story.
I know, right?
So many warnings.
But if you get that, you get it at the mall, but you also get it downtown where you hit it at the clock tower. Yeah.
Right.
So does it come with real lightning?
No, sorry.
Oh no, that was too far.
Yeah. No, the flame you do.
Although halfway I expected him to go, yeah, there's going to be a place where you hook up a 9-volt battery.
No, it's a crank.
Oh, okay.
And then you got to hold the rod real close.
Real close, yeah.
You might burn your house down and electrocute yourself.
Yes.
But it's fun.
Fun will be had.
Have y'all seen that video of this teacher that had pardon me, all of his students, it's at the end of the year, all of his students are sitting on the tables and they're all touching each other, and he has a one of those big magnetic things, and he has it cranked up, and one kid's like on the ground and touches it, and you can hear them all in unison go, ah! So
That's awesome.
yeah. Chris, what's your first Ultimate toy?
Right. I also got Battle Cat mixed up with Thundercats. It's not the same thing. That's in He-Man.
Yes, it is, but it's all good.
As I said, I'm tired. So my first one, going along with the playset thing, because I was addicted to Barbie houses and Polly Pockets when I was a kid. Newt's case from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I love his case. His case makes me so happy every time they go in it and I see it. So level 1, which is the alchemy level, because alchemies occupy the space that they are in. So it's the case. It also has a muggle mode. So it would include so it would kind of open up and kind of collapse. I am not an engineer. I don't know how this works. In my head, I see it. I just don't know how it would happen. It would collapse open, like it would come down and open down, like I imagine it in my head. It is. Anyway, so it has his office with the ladder that you come down, his caboose that is sort of his bunk area, and the landing with the main area that leads off to all the different habitats. You would get a Newt and Jacob figure. And then some starter animals would be the giant dung beetle, a billywig, glowbug, sweeping evil, a murtlap, and an alchemy. And then the second level is the niffler level, and you would get more habitats. So the rat spawn nifflers, the demiguys, mooncalves, the graphorns, and the deery calls. And then for the bow truckle level, you get the big ones, so like the thunderbirds, the rumpet. You get grindylows because they have to be in water. Doxies, the Fauper. I don't know what a nundu is. I forgot to look that up. And for the last level is the obscurus level. So you get the floating. Again, I don't know how this would work.
Doesn't matter.
An obscurus.
We're engineering.
We're just little snowy. Maybe it's like a magnet thing. I don't know. But the obscurus. And so I just would love to play, because Lego's not enough for me for something like this. I would need like a whole collapse 3 feet tall when it's opened up. And it's got all the levels and it's all attachable and you can lay it all out.
Giant size Polly Pocket.
A giant size Polly Pocket that would collapse in on itself all neatly into this case.
Nice.
That is my...
Like a 3-hour transformer.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
3-hour transformer case that I would buy. And you would probably... You'd be spending some money because Harry Potter shit's not cheap. But yeah, I would. Oh, it would be so much fun to play with that.
So where are the bells and whistles? Sorry.
Ray, I forgot to ask you. So, what are you thinking this thing's gonna? What's the asking to get this thing unlocked?
This is definitely going to be a few
ridiculous.
$100.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably talking like $600, $700, $800.
Gotcha.
Yes.
You figure out the lightning thing, definitely.
Oh, the lightning.
You know what? Back to the Future fans are rabid collectors. So, I mean, like, I could see it getting funded. So.
Yeah, same with Harry Potter fans.
Oh yeah, Harry Potter fans, you just ask them for money. So.
Oh yeah.
They're like Star Wars fans. Give me money. Okay.
Money, I'll take it. Thank you.
What do I get? Nothing. Oh, okay.
Nothing. I just asked from
Yeah.
Apparently, that's not Hasbro thought. At least that's what they thought with the Star Wars stuff with the Rancor, and people said no. So yeah, let's
everybody wants the Star Wars lightsaber that they've created that actually goes up, and now they're saying, "Oh, you're not going to get one." It's like, well, then what's the point of showing everybody? But
anyway. Just wait. Someone's going to get paid enough to accidentally misplace one, and it'll get reverse engineered, and
it'll get out there.
Yeah. So
sorry,
because I'm sure they'll be like, well, no one else can make it because we have trademarks. Cool. We'll just send out the prints, and everyone can make it themselves. So just get in front of it and start selling the damn things. Like
I don't understand. Anyway.
I don't either. Like this is one of those things that so the guy who was the master prop master for Ghostbusters has started answering a bunch of questions and stuff, and it started being on, like, he was on Adam Savage's Tested and stuff, and they're not giving everything away, but they are telling a lot of stuff, and I have a feeling he's the type of person that would be like, I've always thought if I ever did a movie, especially if it was a sci-fi movie or something like that, that would be one of the stipulations. Would be like, all right, before the movie comes out, we're not going to do all the props, but we're just going to flat out give you the plans and stuff for some of these props, so that it gets people excited. And on opening night, you have people showing up with stuff, and oh, that's what this is for. This is what this does. You don't have to explain everything and give away part of the movie. You're just like, oh no, this is the prop weapon or whatever it is. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Would you make people stay after the credits?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They have to. That's a given now. All right. So my next one, this is something that I have ranted and raved about for years and years. A Johnny Five. Like,
yes.
Depending on, like, in the movie, it was a very simple toy. You just kind of turned it on, it moved, and just bumped into stuff and moved around. Oh no, if we're gonna crowdsource this thing, I want it to be 2.5 feet tall, somewhere around there.
Like the one Short Circuit 2.
Yep, I want it to have remote controls and stuff. Of course, it'll talk, it have lights and stuff. So for my stretch goals, and damn it, y'all named your stretch goals, and I didn't think about that. I should have named them. So for the first stretch goal, it's going to be a hat and a bandana that'll go on it for the second movie.
Yep.
Let's see. The second one. Let's see here. I said upgraded laser instead of an LED. So it would just have an LED for the shoulder thing, and if you unlock the second level, it will be an actual laser, so they could shoot on the floor, and you could have you move around, and the cat could chase it. I have to definitely put a warning on that one.
Just don't go green laser.
No. Oh no, I'm sorry. The hat and bandana are from the first movie, actually. The third level is the punk Johnny Five. So we would have the mohawk and all the other attachments.
On the one side, it keeps flapping.
Exactly, yeah. That would be fantastic. And then I said for the ultimate unlocking, you get a choice. Do you want him in silver or do you want him in gold?
There you go.
Hell yeah. But I have always said, I think my mom's actually the one that put this idea in my head. She was like, I never understood why they didn't bring out that toy. They would have sold 1 million of those toys when that movie came out because it was so popular.
Yeah. Can you make the punk one? Anytime that it's in the punk, the only song that plays is "I Need a Hero"?
Oh hell yes! We'll have to license that out. Anytime you hit forward, it just starts playing.
and he gets extra speed.
He gets extra speed. Yep.
Yeah.
So. I loved those movies. It was so not politically correct, but whatever. You know what's funny though? Where did I hear this? I heard this the other day. Someone was talking about it. It was an engineer, and they were talking about how after that movie came out, after the first one came out, number one, he had several Indian friends, and several of his Indian friends were number one surprised that he wasn't actually Indian because he actually did a halfway decent job. But number two, they were like, well, we don't care. We were represented in a way that didn't make us look like idiots. He was just a fun character, and everyone liked him. It was just like, all right, cool. So, sometimes you wonder if we're maybe a little too worried about some stuff. I mean, yeah, it probably shouldn't have happened, but it's so
it shouldn't have for the time for sure. Yeah.
So it's kind of like apparently whenever they did the live action version of oh geez, what is that anime with the
oh yeah,
Cowboy Bebop?
No. You're in with what's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Ghost something. Wasn't it a
Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell. Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, when they went over to Japan and asked people, "How do you feel about a white woman playing this character?" They're like, "We don't care. She's a good actress." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Kind of thought y'all were gonna rant and rave. They're like, "No, we don't care. We just wanted to see the movie."
Yeah.
It looks like a good movie. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So that was my second one. Joseph, what's your next one?
So my next one it comes in parts, so to speak. So the first level is going to be kind of like an RC car, but it'll be in the shape of a lion, because I'm going to build Voltron.
Hell yes!
Oh,
all right.
There you go.
So the first tier is going to be $200 or $300 because you're going to get all 5 lions, but they'll be RC cars. The next tier will double in price. So I'm talking $400 to $600 because you're going to ask Boston Dynamic how they built their dog robot, and you're going to make the lions be able to gallop. And then the final tier,
that price.
the final tier is going to push it to close to $1,000 because all 5 will be able to, on their own by command, come together, climb up on each other, and turn into Voltron. Kind of like Optimus in that video where he can transform himself.
I was just about to say, I think that's a little far-fetched, and I was like, no, I've seen that Optimus, like, give it a little bit more time.
All they have to do is fold in their legs, and then the 2 bottom lions they pop up, you just get the other ones to, it's there.
Yeah.
The climbing up on each other and assembling themselves, maybe not, but the folding and turning into the parts that they need to, definitely doable.
If all you have to do is lift it onto that spot and then it locks in, then you're set.
Oh no, I'm not even thinking that. I'm thinking they form while they're laying down, so that they basically transform. They all interlock, and then
they stand up.
We have seen where Optimus Prime can get up by himself. It would be essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and I would want them to be big. So we're talking like about a foot long.
Oh my God!
So it's about 3 or 4 feet tall.
3 or 4 feet tall. Heck yeah! Small child.
Plus,
hell yeah!
If you can get it to run around like an actual lion, you can chase the cats around the house, and added benefits to it.
Boston Dynamics is gonna up their game big time for this.
Yeah. They can take that dog robot and make it a foot long or whatever. That'd be crazy.
You'd have to have an insane battery on this too, because there'd be nothing worse. Okay, cool, let's change it, and partway through it dies.
Whoa.
It gets about halfway up and just
it died.
I just see this conversation going on about, you want us to miniaturize this small, and the other guy's just like, but it's Voltron.
It's Voltron.
Which battery alone? But it's Voltron.
And then I can also hear the conversation from Boston Dynamics, like, well, at least he doesn't have to make the power sword, and then whoa,
yeah.
Whoa.
Next stretch goal.
Make the power sword?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. And Hasbro's like, I thought that was implied.
Too far.
The ultimate stretch goal is the flaming sword, and that you have some issues. So,
but I figured this was like a good the Voltron for the 80s kids, and if you want to bring in some extra one, maybe make the Zords for the 90s kids for the Power Rangers, and it makes the Megazords it all be kind of the same.
Once you get the technology down, you just basically slap a little bit different outside on it, because then like you said, so we do that one this year, and then the next year, like you said, we do Power Rangers, and we do the Megazord.
Yep.
And then the year after that, you do Devastator or Minosaur, or someone from Transformers, and you just freaking keep raking in the money. So, and they wouldn't even have to run like lions. It's literally just 5 vehicles. They just drive around.
I was going to say, it's probably easier to start with the Transformers and then go to.
It might actually be, especially Minosaur, be like it's a semi and 4 cars. So
I was going to say, the Power Rangers Turbo, I think they're just 5 vehicles.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be too. Yeah, but I mean, well, no. I was just thinking, the Power Rangers. So the Triceratops was on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't they all kind of on wheels? Did any of them actually run, or did the Saber-tooth Tiger? Saber-tooth Tiger did. Okay, yeah.
And obviously the Pterodactyl flew.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a little difficult. That'll have to be.
Well, you make it like a drone.
Yeah.
The wings don't have to flap.
That's true. So, I just recently, as I was working on that giant Ecto, I didn't want to have anything on that I need to focus on, so I've been rewatching The Toys That Made Us, and got number one. If you haven't watched that series on Netflix, go watch it. It's fantastic. But yeah, just talking about some of those toys, I'm just like, oh man, some of those toys were so awesome. So, all right, Ray, what's your next one?
So I'm gonna need a little help on this one.
Okay.
I think at the Muggle level, you get a flying snitch and a couple of bludgers that you can fly around as drones, so that when you're playing your Quidditch, your Muggle Quidditch, you actually have somebody flying these things around at people. I think that'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
Cool.
I don't know how you're going to get the bludgers to be able to take a hit from a bat and still fly, but make it work.
So you use a wiffle ball bat, so it's not. So it's got like some foam protection.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just love that people run around with brooms between their legs while they play this. It's just, I love it. It cracks me up. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The broom does nothing that you can't
No.
use to do it.
It hinders you so much.
It does,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
it's amazing that
Yeah.
people are very committed to it. It's awesome.
So I wanted to see the snitch and the quaffle, or sorry, the bludgers involved. I don't know where to go from there though. That was the only thing. So that would be like your muggle level. So if you get into your wizard witch level,
Nimbus 2000.
I was going to say, yes, you definitely do a broom.
Yeah.
You definitely do an adult-sized broom. That would be
Yes,
fantastic.
Firebolt.
Okay, but does it come with like straps so that you don't have to hold it, so you can run around like normal?
No.
No, it's
The third level would come with yearly passes to those iFly things.
Oh, there you go.
So that you could actually like ride the broom.
Oh my God! Why is that not? It's got to be a hazard, but oh my God! Why is that not a thing?
What about a whole field of that?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I mean, they'd have to sign every waiver ever made.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then as you're losing speed, you just like out, and then your robes are actually your like
a parachute,
and then you get pulled back up.
And see, I was gonna say maybe that's the next unlock level. That's the next unlock level is robes. Like you choose your house and they send you robes,
yes.
and then after that is like maybe the starter broom, and then like if there's a fourth level tier, that's the Nimbus. Yeah, so
yeah, that's your world championship.
yeah, or maybe you unlock the broom and then like the final level you get the trophy or whatever. That might be cool too.
Oh, World Cup.
The World Cup.
Yep.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
That'd be
Has
right.
anyone ever tried to play Quidditch while skydiving?
Probably.
I need to look that up now.
It's probably.
I'm sure that's probably a thing, but
Like, oh God, the snitch.
You're gonna lose that quaffle pretty quick though.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you
As
throw
soon as you throw it, it's
unless
lost.
you make it at a lead.
Oh, never mind. This wouldn't work. I was gonna say you put an elastic cord on it, but then you couldn't pass it to each other.
No.
that's true.
Magnets. You have to use magnets.
Magnets.
It always comes back to magnets.
Magnets. Just magnets.
How do they work? No. Oh, Chris, what's your next one?
Okay, I only came up with 2, so this is my last one. Again with the whole playsets thing, because I am a child. Bilbo's Hobbit hole.
That would be awesome.
I want that very badly. I want to live in it, but since I can't, this is the thing, and it would be big, like coffee table big, and the top would pop off. So you look down, and you have all of the rooms because they're also gorgeous. Like these are beautiful dwellings.
Oh yeah.
So you'd get all of the room, like obviously the whole thing would have all its room dividers and the furniture. You would also get a Bilbo and Frodo figure included at their age at the time of the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
Okay, so then the Durin level would be all the dwarves and young Bilbo.
The fact I'm still getting over the fact that you fucking named all your levels. That is fantastic. You so went a different level that I didn't do.
The Durin, so you get all the dwarf figurines, all 13 of them. Is there 13 of them?
Yes.
And young Bilbo, who would obviously look like Martin Freeman. And then I couldn't think of the name of this level without it sounding bad. So I put the gardener level. It's supposed to be the Verge level, trimming the Verge. So it'd be Samwise Gamgee and Gandalf figurines, but they'd also come with fireworks.
Yes.
I don't know how that would work, but
doesn't matter. Little fireworks.
there you go. And then the bonus would be the One Ring.
With Smeagol.
No Smeagol. Smeagol
No
sucks. No, we're not doing
Oh, okay.
He never went to the Shire. It would be inaccurate.
That's true.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
Aragorn and Legolas. I'm like, they weren't there.
No.
Anyway, so the One Ring.
Interesting.
I don't know
So
how
I
that
thought you were going to do like one of the extended levels would be like Bilbo when he's younger, and like half of the dwarves, like you said, and then like the next one would be something like that. But yeah, I like that. So
yeah. So just be at just who was at bag end essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the front, will you put no admittance except on party business?
Exactly. Yes. I was thinking, could I do the garden around it and then the cute little picket fence, and then it's like eventually you could just have the whole goddamn Shire all and Bywater and like everything, and then you could it would be endless. It would be so fun. Mm-hmm. And they'd all just be because I
then you go into the mountains.
The mountains.
And then you're starting to build.
You get the Lonely Mountain, or you do the Misty Mountain, and then you do. It's so beautiful.
And then you got the forests.
Miss Tirith is going to be fucking huge. It's going to take like an entire room.
The stupid elf forest would not happen. I don't like that.
Mirkwood?
Yes. It's all dark and dank, and you have to stay on the path, and if you drink the water, you fall asleep. So why does the fattest dwarf drink the damn water?
But if you do it right, you can get the Ents.
Oh, the Ents. I love the Ents are my favorite part.
And then you could actually introduce the Entwives.
Oh, the Entwives! Stop! Makes me sad. I love you.
Are they going to be chia pets?
No. Yes. Just this big tree beard.
So why isn't that a thing? Like that should have been
right. It should be. I wonder if it is.
Because they would have done something stupid. They would have been like, "Oh, look, it's Bilbo," and like you grow his beard or whatever. It's like, no, do the fucking Ents. Like that makes sense.
Yeah, they're treats.
Yeah. My next one. Originally, I had the idea that being a Transformers fan, of course, one of the ultimate things to do would be like a Matrix of leadership, but don't really want to cut into anyone's business. So I was like, well, I want to do something Transformers, and I was like, you know what would be awesome? Would be a person-sized version. And I went with person-sized because I'd want to roll around with the thing. Otherwise, it'd just be too massive. But Optimus Prime's plasma rifle would be awesome. Oh, so like the first level that you unlock would be upgraded lights and sound. So like maybe there's additional buttons that like plays like him saying, Autobots roll out and stuff like that. The second level that we would unlock would be a rumble feature. So that when you fire the thing, it actually like rumbles. That would be fantastic. And the way that Neutrino wand rumbles is they can obviously do it. They've got it down.
It sounds like the bells and whistles we were talking about earlier.
I know, right? I said for the third level there'd be the blast attachments for the front. So as like the cartoon went on, there'd be like one off series where he would like put an attachment on the end of it to make it like a sharpshooter or something like that, so that we'd have that. And then, like I said, so that in the final, the first one was upgraded lights and sound so that it would, sound better and have, better lights or whatever. And the final one would have additional voices and stuff that you could like, click on it and it would play, different sounds or stuff. So that was kind of my more basic one. But like I said, there's already a version of the thing that I really want. So I don't want to, I don't want to, jump into anyone's business or anything. So, Etsy/shop/Epically Geeky.
You could almost. You could almost do like Bumblebee's weapons as well, and like you could get into the offshoots as well.
Well, see, the more iconic ones would definitely be Prime's weapon. Yeah. And then I guess if you really wanted to do it, you could do like his axe that they always kind of do. But the next one, I think obviously would have to be Megatron's like shoulder weapon. That would be so freaking awesome. Yeah. Or arm cannon, I should say. But yeah, so like that was one of those things I was just like, no, I got to get something Transformers in here, and that was the thing that was just like that makes sense because, like I said, they've done Unicron, and that is insane that it was like $600, and they had to keep kind of stretching the goal to make sure it got made because I'm sure they got through all of the figuring out whether or not they could do it, and they're just like, listen, we put a lot of R&D in this already. This has got to make. So anyway, all right, Joseph, do you have another one for us?
I do.
All right.
So my last one, this was probably going to be the biggest one of all the toys.
Okay.
And when I say the biggest, I'm thinking because I would want the figurines to look small while it's on there. So I want to make the Shield helicarrier. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So tier 1 would be it floats in water because that's what it does. But like I said, this thing would have to be massive because if you go and buy one of the toys, I would want it to look not necessarily to scale, but at least small enough to where it looks like they're on this massive thing.
Dude, I can already see this in my pool.
Right? Yeah. Tier 2 would be also be a drone, so that it could lift and fly out of the water.
Oh damn! Okay.
And tier 3 would be the nice little bonus. The deck of the helicarrier is actually in a screen, and you can play Galaga on it because you want that Avengers look.
I like that.
Ah, that's hilarious.
Nice.
So yeah, that was my third one.
I see.
And I would have to be like 10, 12 feet long. I don't know, because I'm trying to think of like the figurines are 5 or 6 inches.
You'd have to do smaller figurines. There's no way, man. Like you have to do like 1 inch
like
characters.
10 grand.
Yeah.
I know, right? But I see it'd be him and I back there playing with it. The boys would play with it for a little bit, and then we keep getting on to them for making too many waves, and the girls would just be like, "Oh God, we're married to them."
Yeah.
Yep.
Be like, "Look, Christy, you can put a drink on it." Okay, now it's fine.
And then one of us in the back turns on the drone part, and we fly away with her drink, and she gets.
I think you got a little bit of time though, because I think it'd take a while you got to drain the water out, so I think you understand what was happening. A lot of bubbles happening before. Just take your drink off.
Yeah.
This thing's not just lifting out of the water.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna have to. That was.
Yeah.
God, can you imagine it lifting up and all the water draining? That'd be so.
Because at one point in time, I was like, tier 4 would have to be it goes invisible. But if Hasbro can make that go invisible, we would never know because the U.S. military would take over that technology.
They would.
Hasbro suddenly disappears off the map.
Yeah. Hasbro becomes the newest weapons designer for.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or even if they use that, you've seen where people have used those. It's kind of like it's a light diffracting sheet, and you turn it one way, and it kind of makes it like basically a wrap that you could put on it, maybe on the bottom,
Right.
and so that whenever it is floating, it you can tell something's there, but it's definitely distorted. It's just like I don't know what that is, but there's something there. So
The UFO things, like
oh my
people
God,
calling you, I see a UFO.
Yep.
No, it's just this new toy. Yeah, sure it is.
Sure it is, yeah.
And if you want to get really crazy, you can have little Iron Man and Ultron drones flying out of it.
There you go.
And then you'd have the what's the plane or the one that they fly around with?
The Quinjet.
Quinjet?
Quinjet, yeah.
Yeah.
Quinjet.
Quinjet?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's what they're called. Yeah. Ray, what's your next one?
I have one last one.
Okay.
I may be challenging you on the size of the toy. Just heads
Also,
up.
this is where the name of the levels came out from.
Spaceballs 1. We are building Spaceballs 1. And it's gonna have okay, you know how the big version of Millennium Falcon? Okay, but this is Spaceballs 1, so it's
right.
And you're gonna flip it up, and you're gonna have all the different locations. You're gonna have all the different things. You're gonna have the first one is gonna be the ship, right? Just the ship, and then you'll have the different areas. But it'll also come with Dark Helmet. You got Lone Star. You got Barf. You got Dot Matrix. You got President Scroob, Colonel Sanders, and a bunch of assholes.
Nice.
Because you have to, right?
Right.
Then at light speed, you get the Winnebago.
Nice.
And you also get a Schwartz ring, proper size, in a Cracker Jack box.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, can you get more assholes?
They're on back order.
I want an army build. I want an army build assholes.
At ridiculous speed, we get Pizza the Hut.
Nice.
You get yogurt, Commanderate Zircon, and then you also get a transporter that you can put in the Spaceballs 1, but it makes everybody's head backwards.
Nice.
So, because it has to. and it only does it like a small area. Like that's
Yeah.
And then at ludicrous speed, you get a special edition Spaceballs 1 in the Mega Maid form, and you also get a circus attachment for Spaceballs 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, everything gets wrapped in plaid.
Nice.
It is shipped to you in plaid. So
how tall are we talking? We talking 5 foot, 5 foot tall robot?
Oh, for the Mega Maid?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking full size. Like
Full size, yeah. 5 foot tall, yeah.
Planetary size, full size.
Oh yeah. and it's an actual vacuum.
Yeah.
Vacuums are cheap, man. Like you could definitely do that.
Massive switch, which is linked to the ring, right? You could link it to the ring where it's the on-off button. If you point it to it, it like turns it on and off.
How awesome would it be if you had a mannequin just sitting around to make it look like Spaceball 1 when it's transformed, and literally that's the docking station for your vacuum cleaner? That would be fantastic.
Oh, I need to do that now.
That would be so awesome. Just have it sitting there and just in the corner. You know, if you know, you know. So.
You know what? We could do that in our house because where the vacuum is. No, I know, but where the vacuum is hidden away. So
it is.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Chris opens the door wherever this is hidden in the middle of the night and just screams bloody murder because there's someone standing there.
I would.
You're like,
damn it, Ray.
I had one more. This last one is literally just, I almost thought about doing it as like an updated version, but part of me is just like, no, I've heard people talk about these, and I think honestly, if Hasbro, or actually they belong to Tonka and Taiko, and I don't remember if they were bought out or not. Anyway, Dino Riders. There's a huge community that is still like clamoring for them to bring them back. And I thought, well, that would be cool, especially if we had a new movie and stuff. But if they didn't and they just wanted to bring them back, they literally could just re-release these toys. Just go get the old molds and redo them. And so the first thing that you would be, the first unlock would be for the Diplodocus and the T-Rex. The T-Rex by itself would sell it. But adding the Diplodocus, so you've got both of the big ones for both sides, I'm guaranteed this thing would get unlocked. At the second unlock, we get the Torosaurus and the Triceratops. So now we've got 3 horns on both sides. Let's see. The next one was the Raptor, the Deinonychus. The next level was the Styracosaurus and Monoclonius. Which, by the way, apparently they found out those are actually just stegosaurs. At least one of them is just a stegosaur, just at the early age. One of those interesting things. That's like, yeah, there's never was a brontosaurus, and then they're like, oh, well, no, maybe there was. So anyway, and then we had the pterodactyls, and then for the final one would have been the Metrodon and the Ankylosaur. So basically, the full first wave that they put out of these toys, I guarantee they would sell. Do y'all, first of all, want to make sure you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what Dino Riders are?
We never got into them.
Okay, but you know that they existed. Okay, so if you're listening to the show and you don't know what they are, they were dinosaurs. The whole story, no one cares about the story. The story was there was a peaceful group of people that come to Earth, and they can mentally communicate with the dinosaurs, and then the bad guys all looked like sharks and insects and stuff like that, and they had to put on these brain boxes that controlled the dinosaurs. And so literally you have these things, these dinosaurs are walking around with all this armor and shooting rockets and lasers and all this other stuff. So, and the thing, like, it's funny because a lot of people didn't know about them, and occasionally this picture will keep rolling back around on the internet, and it's like the cover art for some of it, and it's a T-Rex with like this metal armor shooting lasers and all this other stuff. People are like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And I had it. And in fact, I still have the T-Rex. I still have actually several of them. They're up in my attic. We got them down when the boys were really young, and they got to play with them. I don't have any of the armor, but yeah. So if you can find them in good condition, they're worth hundreds of dollars. So yeah, if they brought them back, I guarantee they would sell. But yeah, that's something that I always thought, and I always thought that it would be, we've talked about rebooting something throughout time, and I'm just like, yeah, this would be something that would be awesome to reboot. So, because it's dinosaurs, everyone likes dinosaurs. So. Well, that is our show for the month. Let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans. Does anyone want to go first?
Sure.
All right, Ray, what is your pick and or pan?
Pan first, COVID. And then my pick. Pick is at the end of last month, at the beginning of this month, we were contacted by Joseph, and he extended a challenge. And not only did we accept the challenge, I have not missed a day.
Nice.
So yeah, we are doing a bunch of workouts. It's trying to keep it simple. I liked what Joseph had proposed. But yeah, I haven't missed a day, and I'm ahead of my goals right now. And sounds like we've already got a plan for next month too. So
yeah,
I like getting healthy, and it was a nice kick in the ass. So
have you decided what you're going to do as your target?
Not yet.
Elaine and I talked about it, and she said, "Don't you go in there and wait for Ray to do his, and then be like, well, I'm gonna double his." She's like, "You guys are just gonna play chicken with each other and not put in what your target is until the end of
the." Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and between the two of you, I can see that happening.
I don't plan on doing that with Lainey.
No, see, I think you and I fall into the same type of thing. Like, I've worked out with people before, and they're like, 5, 4, 3, 5 more. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You said we were down to 2. That's the quickest way to get me to not come back.
I had a trainer. I was in these curls, and he would tell me to stop midway, and I'd look at him like, what the hell are you talking about? I'd laugh at him every time. I'm not stopping part way through. He was trying to do like this, like, I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but
staggered.
But anyway, I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. This is full range of motion. Let's go.
Nope. Yelling at me, number one way to get me to quit.
Yep.
Extending it. If you want me to do 30, fine. Tell me we're going to do 30 or we're shooting for 30. Don't say we're doing 20. Oh, let's do 10 more. Nope. Fuck you.
I'm not doing it. You said 20.
You said 20.
You said 20.
Oh, Chris, pick your pan.
So the pan is the kid. Not that the kids are home from Christmas. I love that, but that they had to bring everything. I do. I love my kids.
I should clarify that. No, I love my.
But that they had to come home with all of their stuff from school just in case that they don't go back in person learning. We're kind of at that state here in Ontario. They could be online learning again. So they don't know, but just in case they're being preemptive, everything has to come home. So it sucks. But my pick is also the fitness challenge with Joseph. It's been fun. We haven't worked out this consistently. It's only been 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks, but we haven't worked out this consistently for this long since we did CrossFit, which was only 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But I like it because it is simple stuff.
Yes.
I can't do so. Instead of you're doing yours in miles, and so's Ray. I'm like, I'm going to do it in kilometers because it's shorter. So I'm doing mine in kilometers.
But we are converting it to kilometers so that.
Yeah. Well, we're converting it into miles because Joseph,
into miles, yeah.
Joseph being the giant nerd that he is, which is why him and Ray get along so well, and all of us.
Created spreadsheets.
He created a spreadsheet. So just plug it in. But I have figured out, which was pretty cool, I am under an 8-minute mile.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, which, I don't want to make this all about this, but yeah, I did a 2-kilometer road today. And I did it in under 8 minutes. It was like 7 minutes and 35 seconds. And I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
So, I guess I should interject here for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about. I proposed a challenge at the beginning of the month to do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 squats, and run, walk, or jog 100 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Except I'm doing 100 kilometers. Because when we converted it into kilometers, I'm like, I am not fucking doing that. No.
160 kilometers? That's not that bad.
No, 100 kilometers is fine. It's doing 100 miles. And then when we converted the 100 miles, and
160 kilometers.
Yeah. 160 kilometers. And then what we'd have to do every day, I'm like, that's over 5 kilometers. No, I'm not doing over 5 kilometers a day. No, I'm not doing that. People have to work up to do 5 kilometers for like a fun run. I'm not doing that. So yeah, but it's been nice because we've broken it down daily, and it's actually very, very doable. I didn't do mine today, but I've only really missed one full day too. But it's fun, and I'm looking forward to next month's challenge. So it's been nice, and it's been a good kick in the ass. Yeah, definitely.
I've missed a few days.
We noticed.
Yeah, we
the
did.
walk dog run thing.
I was gonna chirp you, but I thought maybe I'll leave it this time.
Well,
Oh no, he got up when we were at that wedding. He straight got up and was just like, "Ray's ahead of me. Fuck this."
no, that Friday, Saturday, and that weekend that I missed, I was just like, oh my god, like I didn't do anything. Which is why, if you noticed in this week's challenge, my push-up squats were 60, 70, 80, trying to catch up to the...
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm going to play the turtle on this. I'm going to go slow and steady and hit every frickin' day.
And he has, which is awesome. He hasn't missed a day. And his schedule's kind of been all over the place. Yeah. And he's still like, I'm doing it.
I'm up at 4:10 in the morning.
Yep.
I do my workout. I have a shower. I head off to work. And then... on my days off, I'll usually do it at night.
Yeah.
And then last night I actually worked nights, so I had to do the workout in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And then I did it again.
In the middle of the day again.
At the middle of the day again today when I went picked up the kids and then I went downstairs and did the workout. So it was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
I work an office job, so I just sit down. So that my watch, when I haven't moved for a little while, will start buzzing like, hey, you need to get up and do something.
That's good.
So that's when I do. So I do all my running when I go to the gym in the morning, but the push-ups and everything I do at work.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So it just keeps me active throughout the day. And then, of course, I made that discovery the other day. So I'm probably closer to where you are, Ray, in as far as the walk rog. So I figured out that I was only ever counting how much I did on the elliptical. And the reason that, if you notice, I highlighted one of the ones in blue, it's because I switched over to a treadmill. My knee had been bothering me for a little bit, and I feel more confident in my knee now, so now I'm just straight running. And then I discovered that my watch, as long as I am active, it is counting the distance that I am traveling. And so I've been shortchanging myself 2 or 3 miles a day every day that I've been doing this. So I should be much further along than I am, but I'm going to stick with where I am and not like backlog miles.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, fitness kind of took over that.
Oh, good. Joseph.
So my pick would actually be kind of along the same vein. It's just that for next month, so Ray proposed this thing where it's like you want to push, pull, or lift 1,000 pounds in a day, and if you want to do 10 reps of 100 pounds each for bench press, you got to your 1,000. All right, so I'm sitting there, and I was at work. We're slow right now because we slowed down for the end of the year. I was a little bored, and so I sat down and I made a new spreadsheet, and it's got formulas in there, and you put in what you want to do. It calculates the per day thing, so I got that. That's that, and I just finished doing. Those are my 2 picks. Like I don't really have. So I got to make a cool spreadsheet because I'm a nerd and I like Excel.
Hell yes.
And then I just finished reading Dune. Yeah. I will say this: Elaine is the weightlifter. She lifts 3 or 4 days a week, if sometimes every day of the week. So. She's going to be the one to beat in the January challenge.
Nice. Nice. My pick was, in fact, I kind of forgot what it was here. Doing events again. Like we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, where the one we were talking about, all the Ghostbusters stuff that happened. Being able to do events again, and I've spent on and off this week starting to plan our events for this coming year, and like we've almost got one, at least almost one a month for several months, which is exciting, as long as things don't go to shit, but it is what it is. So that was one of my picks. The other pick is I'm on Christmas break now. Today was the last day of work or whatever, and in the evenings I've had a backlog of parts for that giant ecto that I'm building. And I got caught up on them, and oh my god, I've gotten to the part where like wires are hooked up, and there's lights, and there's sounds, and I'm just like, oh my God, I wish I had more spare money because I would increase the number of things that I get every month because they just don't come fast enough. I mean, I've only got so much money to spend on it, but man, I am loving this thing to the point. Sure, the wife's not around here. To the point that I found this guy's on a site. There are these other subscription models that you can do like this, and one of them is for it's all metal and it's about 2 feet tall and it's Iron Man and it looks fantastic. Another one that I saw is for an R2 that's technically half size.
Don't listen.
Which, did you know R2 is only like 3.5 feet tall? Like, he seems like he'd be taller, but yeah. So it's a little under 2 feet tall, and you get the parts in, every month, and you put it together or whatever. And like once you're done with it, you can take a remote. You can take your phone, and you can drive it around. It will actually take pictures. It will actually project or whatever. It's got lights and sound. It doesn't have like a full R2 stuff. And I was like, man, that's a lot of money for a half size. But then I was like, man, when you do this, it's about $1,500, $1,600. And I'm like, a full size R2, talking to some of those people, is over 10 grand. I'm like, that's really not a bad price.
Oh, that's
No,
pretty
that's
good.
good price.
But the company that I'm doing this one with, Hero Collector / Eagle Moss, they also have a DeLorean. And not that I need to spend the money on, but it's soothing. It is very soothing to sit down, as a creative person, and to be able to make something and know that all the parts are there, all the screws are there, and the instructions are there. And I just follow the instructions. It's like a little bit more advanced version of doing Lego stuff, and honestly, probably about the same price, to be honest with you, depending on how many Lego sets you go through. But I'm just having a blast doing it, and the whole time I keep thinking, man, I wish my dad was here because he would have loved this, and that's why I started. I was like, Dad would have enjoyed doing this, with me every month. So, but yeah, it's been a blast. So, if you've got a little extra money to burn, you like putting stuff together, and you don't necessarily want to keep doing Lego stuff, like check out one of these things. I think the other one's Hero Collector, or I'll have to look it up. Maybe I can find the URL and put it in the show notes. So. That is our show for the month, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Google, Stitcher. I want to say Pandora just started a star rating system as well. I think that was the one I heard about. If that's the case, please give us a rating on there. It would definitely help out. You can find the show at epicallygeeky.com. You can find all of our other shows on there as well, including Creatively Geeky, Marginally Geeky, and Sustainably Geeky. We just did an episode of Creatively Geeky, came out last week. And then we did the Wizard's Butler for the week before it. We're kind of taking a little bit of a break over the Christmas break here. In fact, this is probably the last episode we will do for this year. So I think everyone could use a break. And then we'll start back up in January. So, and then as always, you can find us at Epically Geeky on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Where can we find you online, Ray?
The Reluctant Yeti on Instagram.
Chris?
Rose and Hummingbird on Instagram.
Joseph?
Wherever you want.
He's right behind you. And as always, you can find me. You can find my individual adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.